Yeah, good to see everybody back after the bye week. It is senior week here at Duke, and we'll have a lot of guys playing their last game at Wallace Wade Saturday night, and whether it's guys who have been here for the whole duration, like Eli Pankel, Jordan Moore, Jalen Stinson, or the guys that really have just joined us, like Star Thomas, Caleb Krings, Alex Howard, Ozzie Nicholas. For all those guys, it's still going to be a special moment. Special moment even beyond our football team. Special moment for the seniors, cheerleaders, and the band, and the student body who have been a part of us winning 15 of the last 18 here at Wallace Wade and kind of transforming our home environment. So it's going to be a special night for everybody. It's always an emotional moment with the pregame ceremonies, and you've got to be able to snap back and focus on what is a very good Virginia Tech football team with lots of talent. That we've been fortunate to have an extra time to prepare for this week. So with that, open up for questions.
What has been your main focus during this second bye week?
Yeah, a little different than the first. Last week really just did a couple days of lifting and running and walking through as opposed to practicing. So we were able to get ahead on the opponent, but without it being necessarily a practice. Thursday we practiced, went out and just got some full speed work, gave the guys off Friday and Saturday. Wanted everybody to come back, rejuvenated. Everybody talks about physically, and that's a big part of it, but really mentally, and being mentally fresh for these final two games. We had probably more of a Tuesday-like practice on a Sunday yesterday, normally than what you would do on a Sunday coming off, because we felt like we needed to get some of that game sharpness and the shoulder pads on and hitting blocks and striking people. And the guys responded well yesterday. Now we're back on a normal week. The previous bye we played on a Friday. So today is a normal Monday for us. The players will be able to focus on academics, and we'll resume the preparation tomorrow.
Last time there was self-scout with the previous, gap. Did you do anything like that this time, or is that a one-time thing you do as a checkpoint during the year?
Yeah, we didn't flop the staff. The self-scout occurs every week, just through the data and analytics. We didn't devote the time as a staff to look at each other. But what it did help us is it really let us get ahead on Virginia Tech. And almost like you would do for a bowl game or an opener, you could almost sort of practice the game plan twice against them. If they called and wanted to play tomorrow, we should be somewhat able to function in a game like that. So now, of course, they have the same benefit on us, right? So it may even out in that regard, but at least our guys will be familiar with, what they can expect from, like I said, from a very good opponent.
Manny, to revisit after got to look at the PFF stuff. I think PFF had you guys missing like 2 tackles against NC State. Did you go from the worst tackling game of the season to the best one, going from Miami to NC State?
Yeah, that's probably fair. We tackled really, really well. Our guys pride ourselves on being a really good tackling defense, right? You don't get to be up where we are in all the categories without being able to tackle. And I think some of the health of our players back, especially in the back end, probably helped that as well. And now a new challenge this week, especially what you do worry about this time of year, taking a week off and maintaining that sharpness and tackling is a place, season openers, bowl games, after byes, that you're always looking for, like, hey, are we still in that game-to-game mode? And I'm sure they'll feel the same way.
Have you shut anybody else down from injuries for the rest of the season? Is Justin Pickett? I know he'd been out there.
No, and Pickett really we felt like was going to be back for State, and that was kind of a late scratch late in the week. Okay. It surprised us, and again, Micah did a really nice job of filling in. Mike Barr is another older name that did a nice job filling in. We played with some 6 offensive lineman packages over in Raleigh. I don't think anything else happened that day, so I still feel like we should have, plus Pickett, everybody we had 2 weeks ago should be back. Okay. With 2 games left in the regular season, we're excited to get, Jacquez Moore should be able to come back and feature for one of these 2. And the plan with him is to be able to retain his year of eligibility and join us again for next year, which would be a great boon for the future of our program. He's been a tough miss for us this year, and as I mentioned, we think he's one of the best players on our roster, so we're excited that the idea that we'll have a chance to welcome him back next year.
Peyton Jones only played 2 snaps against NC State.
Yeah, Peyton is back to 100%.
Okay.
He's totally fine. A couple of the guys came out for various things, but we practiced with a full team yesterday.
Is Malika running quarterback now that he's got broke the mold of rushing touchdown?
Yeah, you'd have to ask him that. But what I will say is, and and this is actually true of our whole team, but Malik is getting stronger and he's getting faster. And again, we track the data on this with Coach Feely, and he's hitting PRs on his. I think he hit a speed PR on Thursday, and part of it is that he did not have a full off season of training because we were rehabbing an injury throughout the spring and throughout the summer. So, he's always going to be a guy that's going to beat you with his arm first. But I do think that the other part has a chance to come as his body gets more, to be very honest, game ready. I don't know that he really went to the beginning part of the season exactly the way that you would want a fully weaponized quarterback to go. So he's done a really nice job managing out there, and I think our offensive line has done a very nice job of protecting him. Now, certainly we're going against a guy that leads the nation in sacks this week, and so a very disruptive front. But yeah, hopefully as again, he keeps hitting PR numbers, in his Olympic power lifts and in speed, that's going to only translate to confidence to let your feet talk a little bit on the football field.
Was that an injury from Texas, or did he?
It was something that he came with that we just had to get rehabbed and fixed up in the offseason.
After you looked at the film of that game, particularly with Malik, his completion percentage was super high compared to his season average. What did you like about what you saw from him?
Yeah, I thought Malik was calm, under control, put the ball in good spots. It was tough, like I said, like I mentioned after the game. I mean, they made it difficult on us by just really trying to bomb our run game and making it very difficult for us to get anything going running game wise. And so you're gonna have to have a quarterback that's got accuracy. And I thought Malik was very accurate in how he threw the ball, and guys made good plays for him down the field. So, if you just look at his numbers over the last 3 weeks, we really, and again, Florida State, we know is a difficult defense to throw the ball against, and really from that point on, the success he had against SMU, going into Florida State, I just think it's gotten better and better. Miami, NC State, I'm just encouraged by which way the arrow is trending.
What's the difficulty in slowing down Bashal Tootin?
Well, the first thing that jumps off the tape is the ability to go all the way, right? You see him go, 85 yards against Boston College. He's got a very good defense. So you're always concerned as a defense. The game is won through turnovers and explosive plays, right? So he's a running back, maybe a little bit different profile than what we've gone against, that has a chance to go all the way from anywhere on the field. So what that means is you got to be really sound again and again and again, because one mistake could cost you a touchdown. What makes it more difficult is because you have a running quarterback threat, so that helps split apart your defense, right? Because now you've got to honor the fact that the quarterback may keep the ball on his own. So I think the way the two of them work together back there makes him even more dynamic. Now, beyond that, he's got really good contact balance, runs through tackles well. So, again, like with all backs, you got to get to them before they get going and be gap sound against a team that does a really nice job with their formations, motion shifts of trying to get you out of your gaps.
Do you have a sense of whether guys or how many guys could go through senior day but still be back with Duke next season?
That's always a weird possibility now. I think we might have a guy going through his third senior day this week, so I should get I should always let them run the ceremony. But yeah, in the weird, wacky world of college eligibility now and appeals and who knows what, we'll just put the varsity football sign up in January and see who comes back for it. So.
Everybody else? All right.
Okay, thank you all.
Thanks, Mary.